If that happens and there's a bunch of foreclosed houses, a bunch of empty houses, who do you think fucking comes in and buys them up in bulk? Blackrock, Zillow. Zillow's going to buy them and flip them because they get to name the price on Zillow, basically. BlackRock's going to buy them up. You're going to have large blocks bought up. They're going to raise the rent as much as they want, and you're going to be the one that's screwed. Here's what I'm going to put here, okay? There are 12 to 15 million people that could be affected by this. All right, now we've already seen housing purchases and builds and starts cool off, right? So we've already seen a quote-unquote saturation of purchases. At least private purchases. Most people have been buying cash too. So the people that have money have been spending it. But if you're seeing a slowdown with the 10-year treasury continuing to fall, that means that we're just saturating on the purchases, at least from a private standpoint. Now, BlackRock, Zillow, these guys, they've all got money on the sidelines that they are that they're hoarding and they're doing really well with, you know, and they're going to be buying up a bunch of shit. But as far as private buys, they're slowing down. Housing starts are also slowing down. With that being said, here's my other concern. We know that some states have taken some of the federal relief funds and are giving it out to renters to help pay their back pay. But the eviction freeze has been happening for over 1 year. And most of the people, statistically now showing that even the ones that got money during the unemployment benefit increase and got renters insurance actually didn't pay rent with it. So eviction and moratorium does not mean, the eviction freeze moratorium does not mean you're forgiven. It just means you didn't have to pay for it during that time. Okay? You still have to back pay it. Now, you get evicted, you're out on your ass, you've got eviction on your record. If you're a homeowner who has a renter and they don't give you the back pay, you're shit out of luck. And if you weren't able to maintain, if you relied on paying the mortgage on your home off of the rent, they're gone. The bank's going to take your house from you. This doesn't equate to people who actually own their home who are in forbearance or backwards on it. Now, Stocky, why not just extend the moratorium and the eviction freeze? Well, here is where the politics of it get very difficult. There is this thing in the United States called, I'm sure everybody knows it, I'm not trying to be stupid here, but we have a constitution. I'm just giving you facts, guys. A lot of people don't like a lot of things in the Constitution, feel it's outdated. There are ways of amending it. It's been amended in the past. It could be amended in the future. But according to the Constitution of the United States, one of the reasons the founders set up the things they were at the time, obviously without getting into politics here, was they didn't want the government to be able to force its citizens to do certain things. And that is what the concern is right now as far as the eviction freeze. The Supreme Court just got done ruling on this. All right, and this is why I'm bringing this to you guys' your attention. The CDC did a eviction freeze, and they told people you cannot evict people from your home. From a legal standpoint, that's unconstitutional, right? The government is telling private individuals what they can and can't do with their private property. Right or wrong, that's what's still here until it's amended. I'm just giving you the law. They used an emergency injunction to get over that. The Supreme Court heard the case about this and actually agreed that it's unconstitutional. However, they refused to negate the eviction freeze prior to the CDC's July 31st. They said, you know what, we're not going to bother with it because they're already going to cut it on July 31st anyways, but they're not allowed to extend it. So, I'm not getting politics about safety over rights, and that's not what I'm doing. I'm just giving you guys facts about case, you know, what's where. I'm just telling you what it is, okay? I'm telling you what the Constitution says, but that's fine. It was overridden. You know, Constitution can be changed. I'm not trying to don't start that crap, guys. I'm not here to have an argument about politics. I'm just giving you the numbers, okay? So that means this weekend, on a federal level, evictions and moratoriums are going to happen. Or moratoriums endings are going to happen. States can do what's called, you know, renter assistance and whatnot, or loan forgiveness or whatever at a state level, but at a federal level, it's over. Now, the really concerning part is a lot of people would say, well, that's fine. You know, by the time there'll be so many backlogs that by the time people are evicting people and they'll have to go through the process, it'll take months and months and months. No. The eviction freeze in a lot of states just meant you couldn't actually kick the people out. It didn't mean you couldn't file the eviction paperwork, and the eviction paperwork has been filled out. So when July 31st hits, in a lot of places, what's going to happen is private landlords are going to go to the renter and say, I need the rent for the last year. Now, a lot of people did pay their rent, but for the people who didn't pay their rent, they're going to say, I need the rent money for the last year. And if they don't have it, they're going to evict them. It's going to take a while because evictions are a dirty, messy process, and it gets the law involved and all that stuff like that. But it's not all, well, fuck the landlord, No, because here's the thing. Even if the landlords let them stay, they're doubly fucked, and now both are fucked. Why? Because those landlords that have a mortgage to the bank can now come after the landlord and say, we want our money for the last year. And the landlord's, okay, let me go get it from my renter. My renter doesn't have it. Now the bank takes their house. Well, good. Fuck landlords. They're all shit. No, they're not all shit. I know there's people in here that are landlords, and there's a lot of private landlords. But what's going to happen is now that we've quote-unquote saturated the private purchases of homes with rents being this low and we've kind of peaked out, if that happens and there's a bunch of foreclosed houses, a bunch of empty houses, who do you think fucking comes in and buys them up in bulk? Corporations. Blackrock, Zillow. Zillow's going to buy them and flip them because they get to name the price on Zillow, basically. BlackRock's going to buy them up. And what's going to happen is instead of having mom and papa, landlord that you can call to get your shit fixed, once again, you're going to have large blocks bought up. They're gonna fucking raise the rent as much as they want. They're gonna subcontract out to a shitty property management company who's gonna subcontract out to a discount fucking maintenance company, and you're gonna be the one that's screwed. And you are going to have to hit numbers and talk to a computer and leave voicemails to get anything done. And there's any problem. You have a problem with your rent, you can't call up the landlord and say, hey man, can you give me a couple more days? No, you're out. Okay. So 12 to 15 million people are at risk here. The only thing that we can really do outside of using emergency orders and potential, presidential powers of emergency authorizations and whatnot is another stimulus bill that directly gives money to renters. The one group of people that has been forgotten about in this entire thing, non-landlord homeowners, are very, very forgotten about. Okay, very, very forgotten about here. And no one's paying attention to them as far as bailouts. Everyone's talking about renters and potential landlords getting bailouts. Nobody's talking about homeowners who lost their job, who are going to get foreclosed on. So what does this mean? What does this mean? We don't know. There's a lot of uncertainty. But when you take the China market, so much selling pressure, the US market, so much inflation, and a housing crisis altogether, 12 to 15 million people, something has to give. That doesn't mean we're going to crash, because this could reverse up and there could be a moratorium extension or a new bailout package that goes through on executive order that gives everybody money for rent and forgiveness and the $1 trillion to cover everybody's thing. The reason I'm not trying to be an alarmist here is remember what I opened this entire thing with. Does anyone remember? The economy does not equal the market. So that's why I'm not like 100% going against everything. The economy's in the shitter. I'm selling everything. No, it does not equal. But I just give you guys these things that are things that we pay attention to. As long as interest rates are at zero and money is flowing into the equity market, it's just going to keep going up. But if inflation continues up, and employment and growth stops, then the Fed is going to have to raise rates, and that it will be the catalyst for sure. If this doesn't change by the time they announce that, or they announce a pullback or a shorter term rate increase, there's nowhere else to go for the market. Dude, you look fat lately. Bitch, it's because I have a beard. It widens my face. What do you mean copium? It's the beard. What do you want me to shave on stream right now? I'm mansplaining? How are you guys gonna to derail my fucking talk right now? You know what? I was 2 seconds from telling you guys what I'm about to YOLO off of all this info, and now I'm not going to because of that. Get wrecked. I'll ride my shares and sell my calls myself. I ain't fucking fat. I'm fucking... Boys, come on now. They said I look fat. It's the sleep deprivation? You just fucking lied to me.
What?
Do I look chunky?
No.
Have I gained weight?
No, but if they're saying that
But if they're saying, who gives a shit about them? It's always people who don't even sub to the channel who got shit to say.